Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. This is Dream Another Day Tarot, and this is going to be a reading for whoever needs to hear it. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with you. Just take what does and leave the rest for somebody else. All the rest of my disclaimers are down in the description box if you'd like to take a peek. Also, you can find my donation links down there, as well as my link tree, where you can follow me on all my other socials. So let's go ahead and say our affirmations and get into this reading. Thank you so much, Spirit, for your divine messages and guidance. We're deeply grateful, and we know we couldn't do this without you. Would you please help guide the collective spirit for their highest good? And please bless us and protect us as we move forward into this reading. All right, y'all. So I already did my daily reading today, but I was just feeling inspired to do another one. So here we are. I'll move my camera so this is a little more appropriate. Bodies are beautiful. Your body's beautiful. Don't worry about it. But just for the sake of YouTube. So let's go ahead and get into this reading, y'all. Definitely feeling it today as far as what's going on out there in the world, and kind of just really wanting to trust my intuition kind of more than ever, and also try and be in a good state of mind. So I'm trying to stay positive, and I hope all of you out there are doing the same. So let's go ahead and see what is coming out for the collective. All right. Any messages for the collective, Spirit? Messages for the collective? Okay, King of Wands in reverse. Okay, let's get some more cards on the table. Here's when you look at this card. Two of Swords. Having a difficult time seeing the way forward, right? Kind of feeling at a crossroads, maybe feeling a little bit stuck. Oftentimes the Two of Swords talks about making a decision, but maybe not really seeing, like, you want to make an informed decision, but sometimes it's not how the universe works, and you don't get to have all the information before you make the choice. You kind of have to just go with it, you know? So some of y'all might be feeling that way. Four of Wands. Four of Wands talks about stability, okay? So this could be talking about your home life. It could be talking about the significant connections in your life. King of Wands in reverse, I think, is really talking about, like, maybe somewhat of a loss of passion, a loss of confidence, difficulty making, like, taking action is what I'm hearing. So what's going on with that? What is going on with that? Okay, we've got a card falling on the floor. 1 second, y'all. King of Cups. Wow. Okay, well, that kind of is a little bit in line with the energy I'm feeling. Is, you know, some of you may be feeling somewhat emotional out there right now. Please keep in mind that gender is fluid in tarot also. King of Cups is really saying, you know, maybe turning your, because the way the card is coming out, there, the back is turned to the rest of these cards in the spread. So it's almost like, you know, maybe stifling your emotions, turning your back on things that make you uncomfortable, or parts of your life that are somewhat in turmoil. Just really curious. Turning your back on it because maybe you're feeling a little bit emotional right now. Okay, any other messages? Whoa. The Devil. Okay, so sometimes our thinking can have us trapped. This is also talking about addictions, imbalances in the body. Okay, this is one of the ways I think about it. But it's also, you know, being attached or tethered to something that is really causing you a lot of strife. Okay, that's the energy. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So maybe feeling like you're, like, just having a hard time moving forward. That's really the energy here. Having a hard time moving forward for whatever reason. Difficulty making decisions, feeling a little bit discombobulated, frustrated, you know. King of Wands in reverse could also talk about anger and pride and resentment and things like that. The Devil also represents some of those heavier emotions, right? 1 second. Wow, Queen of Pentacles coming out, though. I think that's kind of like a positive omen here, honestly, in the context of this reading, because the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is very nurturing, Okay, so regardless of gender, this could be your energy or the energy of somebody around you who may be bringing that kind of, you know, stability and abundance to your life. Okay, so let's keep going. Yeah, it's important to embrace how you're feeling, okay? And it's also important to look at the things that hold you back, you know? So maybe you're just waiting for a breakthrough. Maybe you think that if you get this breakthrough, whatever this is, whether this is a person or this is money or this is whatever, maybe you're thinking that if you kind of, if that thing happens, then the rest of this will kind of sort itself out. I can't say if that's true or not, but sometimes that's the way we think about things. Look at that, Hangman. I saw that when I was shuffling as well. That to me is talking about like deep contemplation. Okay, y'all. So that was really strange. This has actually never happened before, and I've recorded a lot of content on through my webcam like this, and the recording just stopped at 5:55. Just stopped. That's really strange. Maybe we should look up what 5:55 means. We're still recording here, but I'm gonna go ahead and just do a quick little boo because I feel like that is pretty significant. One of the first things that comes up is, whoa, the Four of Wands just flipped off the table at me too. Okay, we're going to take this as a sign, okay? This number represents change, but it also represents freedom and adventure. If this is a time of transition for you right now, embrace your singlehood and lean into your independence. The angel number 555 could represent a new love interest, but the best way to find them is to go on an adventure that lights you up. Wow, really interesting because it's talking about maybe this person making a significant impact on your life, or you're like thinking, well, I need this connection or whatever. You know what I mean? That's just kind of like what's coming through. But again, with all this difficulty making decision and feeling really like bound and all of that and kind of tied up and stifling your emotions, it's not very conducive. So maybe Two of Wands. Two of Wands talks about, the Two of Wands talks about looking out into the horizon, looking at your future, right? The Two of Wands also represents widening your circle and your network. There's a lot of international kind of connections that, you know, the Two of Wands represents. So yeah, that's really interesting. I kind of want to look at another meaning. Yeah, angel number 555 symbolizes that it's time for you to enter a new phase of your life and move forward. Wow. Okay. It represents change more than anything is what I'm seeing here. Okay, so if you are entering a time of change in your life and you are maybe having difficulty letting go of the old, this is definitely a message from your angels here to open up and to be ready and willing to move and change. Again, it's like making those decisions without really knowing what the outcome is or where you may fall. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not that you're going to fall, but knowing how the chips may fall, I guess I should say. Sun card in reverse. Wow. That's definitely like, you know, unhappiness, you know? And then you have the World, which is all about changing cycles. So, wow, this message is really talking about, you know, being willing to embrace change, you know, and being willing to step out into the world, you know. Maybe this is what the King of Cups is all about with their back turned here, you know, as they're walking away. Wow, that's actually really beautiful, to be honest with you, now that I'm seeing it that way, because it's kind of walking away from this indecision and inability to move forward, feeling suspended, you know, this kind of like maybe anger, pride, energy, having a difficult time taking action. The Two of Swords, you know, again, that indecision. You know, Four of Wands can talk about maybe the things that, like, you know, your home, your work life, your significant relationships, you know, and the Devil. And then even with the Queen of Pentacles coming out over this way, wow, this is a really powerful message. The sun just flipped out and went in the upright just now as I was like gathering what this message is. So I will take that as a sign too, okay? The Queen of Pentacles. I knew I should do a reading, y'all. I don't know. This is definitely for somebody out there. Like, so the Queen of Pentacles can represent maybe your desire for connection, okay, regardless of gender. This is like your desire for nurturing, for somebody to come in and, you know, impact your life. And with the Devil, and they're coming out right next to each other, you know, so it's kind of like desire, lust, being tied and bound to this fantasy maybe, and it's causing you a lot of unhappiness. And so maybe you're turning away from that now, and it's kind of like out of sorrow, but also to move forward into this new phase of your life. So this is pretty significant reading here. Started out a little rough. I was like, damn, you know, but that's kind of how tarot does sometimes. Sometimes tarot will do that to you. It's like, you know, we're going to look right at the problem, you know, and we're going to look right at the solution and move forward with that knowledge. You know what I mean? So thank you, Spirit. Any other messages? Another card on the floor, y'all. Oh, wow. 2 cards. Oh, wow. Okay. Also, another significant message here. 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords talks about self-sabotage. This can talk about petty behavior, you know, etc., etc. And then you have the Ace of Cups coming out right with it. Is that a hell of a transition or what? You know what I mean? Going from the 5 of Swords energy to the Ace of Cups energy. Wow. Making these changes, making these moves, going in these different directions, letting go of whatever it is that is making you unhappy right now. It could just be in your mind, possibly with the Devil. But it could also be physical, like you need to physically leave something behind. And like, this is where it's leading you. Wow. Again, I've never had a reading stop at 5:55 like that. That's pretty wild to me. Maybe someone's getting in touch with their emotions. We're coming up on 5:55 again, and I'm like, is it going to stop? No, didn't stop. Very strange. I'm definitely not like out of memory or anything like that. I wouldn't be able to keep recording if I was. Very, very strange. So, this is definitely significant. Look at that. 5 of Cups. Wow. Y'all, I can't with this reading right now. The 5 of Cups talks about, you know, really like focusing on the past and the bad things that have happened and all the sorrow and all that sort of thing. And look at that. Queen of Wands coming out in reverse. Wow. This is probably like failed relationship energy. This is failed relationship energy, or maybe like toxic behavior that has impacted you. 2 of Pentacles in reverse, something that was off balance. So it's like we're trying to move on from all that. Okay, we're going to get a final message here. I feel like this reading, for whatever reason, like my energy levels just dropped in this reading. Queen of Wands in reverse, still wanting to come out. The Wheel of Fortune. I can't make this stuff up, y'all. I actually just had a vision, like when I picked that up. It made me think about traveling to another country, somewhere desertous. Okay, could be. I mean, I was getting somewhere like Peru was one of the first things that came up, or somewhere on the African continent. That's what came up. Wow, that was like a pretty vivid flash, okay? Really reminded me of like, have y'all ever read the Celestine Prophecy? That's what it reminds me of. Because the Celestine Prophecy is, as cheesy as it is, I mean, some of you out there might really love it. I read all the books and, you know, I mean, I loved the highlight moments and like the concepts in the Celestine Prophecy are really, really potent concepts. And it just kind of gives a little bit of a plot to give examples of these concepts, which I think is really interesting. And I think it's a great introduction for people who are still trying to understand kind of like the mystical nature of life and coincidence, right? And that it's not really coincidence, it's synchronicity, and how to get in flow and be in the synchronicity. That's the energy. Is that I feel like you're about to go on a major spiritual journey. Look at that. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. That I saw this again also while I was shuffling, and the first thing I'm getting is people might not support this. Like, I don't really know if people are gonna like fund this. If you know what I'm saying. But it doesn't matter, because that's what the universe wants. That's what's gonna happen if you follow those intuitions, you know. Wow, that's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful. Again, I just feel like, wow, my energy level's just like, whoo, tanked doing this reading. Seven of Cups in reverse. Wow, the end of confusion. This is like finally making a decision or choosing none of it. Like, this is completely letting go of fantasies and illusions, and also of decisions, like options. You're just kind of like, none of these options are working out, none of these opportunities are working out. Maybe it's time for me to move on with the Six of Swords. You know? And then the Knave of Swords. This is about learning something new. Being a page is not a bad thing. It's good to be able to be the student in life. Okay? It doesn't matter how experienced you are, how much of an expert you are, how many freaking rings around the rosy you've done. You know what I mean? This is about starting something new, primarily learning something new. So I'm kind of getting here, like, the wheel is turning and it's pushing you on this new journey, and you may not feel ready for it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you may feel like you're kind of running on empty, or you're kind of like moving on a I almost want to say on a dime, like on a puff of smoke. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. You're kind of like, I also saw the Chariot while I was shuffling the deck too. Chariot's all about movement, moving forward, moving on, moving quickly in a new direction. I'm just getting this like really, really strong, like, wow. It's almost like, yeah, it's like not prophetic, but it's like destiny, and that like your destiny is just like way like, I don't want to say way more, way grander. Like, I don't like this whole like self-grandiosity thing when it comes to destiny, because I think humility is the best way to your destiny in a lot of ways. Self-confidence and having faith is really, really important too, but I think to a certain degree, having humility is important. And so it's almost like this, just like this Wheel of Fortune card is like really, really like speaking to me right now. It's got like a lot of energy to it. And like what it's saying is that like destiny's scary, and the world beyond the veil, right, is sometimes dark and mysterious and ancient, right? That's the energy I'm getting. I'm really getting like a lot of like kind of like I don't know, I'm just getting a lot of visuals and a lot of energy from it. And what it's really saying is like, especially with this Ace of Cups coming out too, like this is like an outpouring from the universe, like pushing / pulling you in a new direction. Like you may even have like a little bit of like some tethers, like we were feeling in the beginning of the reading. You may have some tethers that are holding you down, and you need to be able to release those tethers and be willing to ride this wave, or be willing to get on this wheel, even though it's scary and maybe you don't know where you're going, Don't do anything irrational though. Like, let me just give some warning too, is like, don't take my word for it. Like, trust your process, like go through the motions, But if nothing is seeming to stick or work out in your current circumstance, it's almost like, maybe that needs to change, or it's about to in a big way. So I feel like you're going to be moving, maybe going on a trip even. Maybe just go on a life-changing trip. But it's feeling like pretty significant. Like it's feeling like leaving some things behind too. Definitely in the mind. You're definitely at least leaving things behind in the mind. You're willing to set out on a new journey and start something new. Be the student. Maybe you take some type of like work study abroad, or you know what I mean, or you decide to enroll in some type of program. I don't know. Hold on just one moment, y'all. We got another card coming up. Wow, Four of Cups in reverse. This is about taking opportunities. Y'all, this is about not taking your opportunities for granted. Especially with that Seven of Cups in reverse too. It's almost like you're choosing something. You're very, very like you are actively reaching out and grabbing a cup. This is like a big opportunity coming in. Like I feel like, I don't know why I'm just getting this real like energy of there's some level of sorrow and frustration, because maybe it's like nothing has worked out to the point where you're just like, well, this is my last option, almost is how you feel. It's a last ditch effort. You know what I mean? To get in there and fucking fulfill your destiny. You know what I'm saying? Judgment in reverse. So it's like, it's not like, yeah, judgment in reverse, because judgment in the upright is almost like reviving things. It's about redemption in some ways, but also like, you know, calling spirits to judgment in a way. So coming out in reverse is like your story's not over. You still have time with the Wheel of Fortune to like fulfill like your path. You know, it's not over yet, if that makes sense. Instead, we're putting to bed the old life or the old world and moving into this new one. And mind you, this is a cycle that never stops. Like, I'm just saying, because if you've heard this all before, or this is sounding familiar, or you've been through these ego deaths and these restarts, like, trust me, I get it. You know what I mean? Especially if you're a Scorpio. You know, no shade on the other signs. This reading is for any sign. But I'm just saying, Scorpios in particular, for whatever reason, don't be jealous of this. I'm telling you, don't be jealous, because Scorpios often go through these restarts. You know what I mean? And it just feels like the wheel keeps turning, and it does, you know? And it's not a bad thing. It's just a matter of being along for the ride. What's on top? Two of Pentacles. Wow, getting back in balance. That's what this whole journey is for. It's to get you back in balance so that you can let go of this shit. I'm starting to feel lighter already, like getting to the end of this reading, because I don't know why, y'all, but like, I don't know. I was out in the sun a little bit. Maybe I'm a little tired, but I don't know. It kind of happened like right as I sat down for the reading. Yeah, full card. Chariot. Yeah, you really can't make this stuff up. King of Pentacles. Okay, that's that divine counterpart energy with that Queen of Pentacles, regardless of gender. And then, yeah, the Fool and the Chariot, along with the Seven of Wands in reverse, which is really talking about, like, you know, because Seven of Wands, y'all, this reading, it's like you defending what it is you've built so far is staying in the same place. And that's not always a bad thing if that is what is called for, right? But in this case, it's almost like what you've built so far is not nearly as important as what you're going to build next, or what you're being brought into. You know what I mean? And it's like, again, this student energy where it's like allowing the universe to be in charge a little bit, like allowing the universe to guide you and to not stress about outcomes and to be ready for it, whatever it is. And it feels a little like defeatist. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I have this feeling of defeat, like just absolute exhaustion. And it's like this feeling of defeat is almost like, you know, I've tried everything else. You know what I mean? I tried the relationship, or I tried the marriage, or I tried the job, I tried the place that I'm living. I tried, you know, so there's this level of like, oh, I'm just getting this like I give up energy. And what's so funny about giving up like that is that it's like that's when you relinquish control. And sometimes it can feel a little scary, because that can feel like you don't care anymore. You know what I mean? Like, about your life. It's not that you don't care about your life. You're just like, I've tried everything. It's like beating my head against a wall, you know? And look at that. The Empress, right as I freaking cut the deck. I'm just so happy to see that. I'm telling you, y'all, if you can sense my energy even in the slightest, you can tell I'm just like, wow, this is a heavy reading. But like the Empress is like, well, now you're going to stop beating your head against the wall, and now you're just going to let it come to you. So give up a little bit. It's okay. Might as well, especially if you're in a place where you feel like nothing is working out. Then what do you really have to lose to just like say, okay, fine, you know, spirit, universe, I'm handing it over. It's like, again, this King of Cups. You're like, I'm opening up, I'm looking off into the distance, I'm grabbing that cup, right? It's so funny, this cup energy, though, too. It's like grabbing this opportunity with the Four of Cups in reverse. The Ace of Cups is this huge opportunity, and it's like the King of Cups is grabbing it. You know what I mean? And is willing to move forward into this new journey. And you might end up, like I said, literally in another country. I don't know why I'm getting that really strongly. And that might be scary for a lot of you, you know? Like, I mean, that certainly is like kind of scary to me even, but it's like the idea is that it's almost like this feeling of like, I'm getting this really funny imagery, like a really funny scenario. It's kind of cute though. It's almost like, wow, why am I getting, it's so weird. It's like this father-son thing, and like, I don't know, that's really strange, but think about it this way. And again, regardless of gender, regardless of archetypes and dynamics, the energy is, you know, I'm just going to say it like I'm feeling it regardless, because I really try and stay gender neutral on this channel, but sometimes it comes up. So what I'm getting here is a father kind of watching over their son, working on a car. I don't know why it's funny. Okay, so working on a car, and then they're just like trying all these different things, and the father's kind of patiently waiting, you know, letting them exhaust their options, letting them try it themselves, and they're waiting, and then, you know, finally they're just like, I can't figure it out. I don't know what to do. And the father's kind of like, do you mind if I give it a shot? You know? And they're like, yeah, I give up. Go ahead, take over, you know? And then they step in and they make it happen, because they already knew. Like, they already knew what the problem was, or like how to fix it, but they wanted to let you try on your own. I'm like half delighted, half annoyed by that scenario. I don't know why, but I'm just like, that is so funny. It's just an interesting energy of like, you know, like kind of the universe is like that. Yeah, whatever. That kind of more parental energy of like, just letting you exhaust your options, letting you try every little fucking thing until you're just like, I've done everything I can and nothing's working, you know? So like, I don't know, I give up. You know? And let somebody else take over for a minute. That's what's happening in your life. Look at that. 10 of Wands in reverse. Y'all, I can't even make this shit up. 10 of Wands is the end of the end, baby. This is the end of a cycle. You're dropping these burdens, and it's kind of like the universe is stepping in to like make some decisions. Like I said, it's like you have done everything you can, and I feel like the universe is proud of you for trying on your own like this. And it's not to be patronizing, it's out of love, you know, and it wasn't to just like let you suffer and struggle. It was to like give you the chance to learn on your own, you know what I mean? Give you the chance to try things your way. And then once you see like the magic that I feel like the universe can work in your life, and that spirit really wants to work in your life with this Wheel of Fortune, you're going to feel really relieved, you know, because you're going to realize like all this weight I've been carrying, and all this pressure and all the expectations of me succeeding in my life, and all this very separatist kind of energy, this very independent energy. It's like you're starting to realize like, I didn't ever have to do all that by myself, you know, even though you felt alone, and you should be proud of yourself for working so hard. But it's like I said, it's almost like your destiny is yet to be fulfilled, you know, in a lot of ways. And that should be very exciting. But in a lot of ways, I can tell you're kind of at the end of your rope and might be pretty exhausted, because you've been trying to fulfill your destiny, like just like tooth and nail, you know. And then finally, it's like, I'm hearing the word breakthrough, but this breakthrough is really spirit working in your life. You know what I mean? And kind of being like, you ready for me to step in? You know? And maybe you're like, yeah, I've been ready. I've been wanting your help. I've been asking for your help, but you haven't moved out of the way. You know what I mean? To let spirit help, if that makes sense. But you're doing that now. And it's because you've exhausted all your other options and it's not working. This is like, please trust and believe I'm not laughing at you. I'm relating to you, because it's a very, very real phenomenon. It happens to the best of us. And you know, so, wow, fuck, okay. Anything else, spirit? Yeah. It's just, again, this energy of the Fool, starting something new, moving forward, regaining that sense of courage and balance, you know what I mean? And getting back to yourself and realizing that, you know, you don't have to hold on to what it is you built so far, because, you know, don't be afraid of losing it, basically. Because there's nothing lost. You're regaining your balance here by letting spirit back into your life, basically, is what I'm getting. It's going to make you a better person. I don't know. I'm just getting that. It's going to make you all the better for it. So, wow. I'm going to close out this reading because I'm exhausted. This has like been a very exhausting reading. But I really wanted to do it. I don't know. I just felt inspired. And I think that was really powerful and hopefully really helped somebody out there. So if you liked the video, please do hit the like button. Before you go, do listen to my spiel though, because I am going live now every Friday. And the time will vary. So if you're not subscribed and you want to be, definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell, the little bell icon. And then that way you'll get a heads up every time I go live. There I will answer your questions for free in the chat. So if you drop me a question, I will try and answer it to the best of my ability on the spot. And if that is something you don't feel comfortable with because you want a more like private reading, we can do personal readings. And you can DM me on Instagram, which if you go down to the description box, my link tree down there, you will find my tarot Instagram. Send me a message and we can set up a personal. I can talk to you about pricing. I can do sliding scale also, pricing and the process, how that'll work. Yeah. And what was the other thing I was going to say? My donation links. Yes, please, please, please. I really, really appreciate every single last one of you. My donation links are in the description box. So if you want to help me out, I really appreciate it. Times are really, really tough right now. So we're getting through it, but it's definitely not been easy. So anyway, please help me get this thing off the ground. I've been at this for a long time and, bringing it to YouTube has been a wild journey and I'm really happy to be here. So I hope that you'll support me. I definitely want to keep sticking around and supporting y'all. So let's do this thing. I really appreciate you. Hit the buttons, drop me a comment. I really, really love your comments. I read them all and I will respond as well. Especially my channel is so small right now. There's a lot more of a personal one-on-one thing going on my channel right now. So please don't feel, hesitant to reach out to me, honestly. I love giving advice and helping people and it's part of my purpose. You know what I mean? So anyway, thanks so much, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.